What will artificial intelligence do to business analysis? I have heard this question several times lately, not just to business analysis, but to everything, but specifically to business analysis. My very good friend Filip Hendrickx, one of the board members of IIBA, wrote a very interesting article recently, which I want to share you some of those ideas. Well, Filip describes business analysis very much into four pillars. First one, transploration, is trying to understand what's going on and make some sense about data, interviews, information, different perspectives, and from those understanding, make some sense giving, trying to ideate different alternative solutions, trying to figure out what's the best option and then implement that solution with a team where you have to coordinate different perspectives, specify requirements, make the team go together to deliver a solution that at the end you should evaluate if the outcomes were exactly what you expected at the beginning. Well, artificial intelligence is changing all those different tasks, providing tools in a greater scale and with a different speed that we could never see before and in a more consistent way. That doesn't mean those tasks are going to stop happening, but they probably will be done differently by our professionals. To elicit needs, AI can automatically transcript meetings and generate user stories based on what was discussed and agreed upon by the participants. AI can reverse engineer current systems source code, creating a basis for the current state of requirement specification. AI easily detail user stories into use case descriptions and acceptance criteria, and that may evolve into a documented knowledge base for the solution. A digital twin of your business is a way of simulating and testing your solution into different possible contexts and scenarios created and identified by AI. That can be built by AI as easy as it is today to create and test multiple prototypes from a simple prompt with no code. And finally, AI can easily analyze feedback and long result data to provide a better understanding of the outcome. So, how will our business analysis professional change? Well, Filip suggests a way of seeing this change in the professional with horizontal expansion, vertical expansion, and transversal expansion. Follow my lead to understand this scenario. Most part of business analysts today work on a project environment. That means they are specifying and understanding requirements that they're used to clarify the work that a team must be doing, and they are helping this team to understand what must be done, and at the end they will validate if what was delivered by the team was exactly what was specified. That was the most common scenario. If we can expand this scenario initially from left, we can work more on the pre-project activities, where business analysts are trying to understand the opportunities, analyzing data, and trying to identify what should be done, making some exploration and trying to create even some experiments to see what's the best path of alternative, and then creating some kind of feasibility study for the project to begin. That's on left, but we can also work harder on the right side of a project when we are talking about evaluating the outcomes that were expected, see if they are exactly what we expected at the beginning, validate the value that was delivered for our stakeholders, users, customers, shareholders, and use that as a cycle so we can do this continuous improvement on different levels of projects. So expanding the profession horizontally to pre and post projects is one way of seeing how we can expand our role, but also vertically. If we look into a product perspective, understanding the evolution of our product into different projects, or maybe a program when you see different projects working together to reach an outcome that is expected in your organization. At this vertical perspective, we could go even higher into a portfolio management perspective where you see multiple products or multiple programs and you are creating this strategy about what are the important goals for our organization, what's the mission, the vision, and how are we using our resources and investing on different products or programs and creating different teams. How are we going to use our resources? This is a higher level of business analysis that we can help our organizations to achieve what they are looking and align the strategy to the execution. And once we have done this well, we can reuse the same practice of business analysis to do in different areas of your organization. In finance, for example, or operations, or sales, or logistics, we can grow in a transversal expansion, doing what we do very well into different areas. That's how we can leverage our profession. If AI is bringing us the opportunity to do more, we can do more in different areas and in different levels. Actually, the future is not prescribed and we're not trying to predict, but Filip helped us to design a possible way to grow our profession and to see ourselves in some better places. If AI is changing the world, it's on us about how we are going to react to this change. And there's a lot of opportunities out there into different directions to grow. If you enjoyed this video, please share it with your friends. Give me a thumbs up to help me promote it, and follow on the description of this link for the original article where Filip shares his ideas for the growth of the business analysis profession. See you.